Welcome back to Redzone In the Lab podcast. I am Deuce, and today is our Friday pregame show. We got LJ, we got Big Simple in the building, but guess what? Yes, sir, Trace Young is back. So right off the top, we're going to start talking about Chase Young, and we're going to preview this game against the Broncos on Tuesday. We're going to look at some injuries, some key matchups, some spotlight players, how we're going to be able to bring this W back home from the Mile High City. So right on the other side of this, we're going to chop it up. Chase Young is back.
Shout out Redzone In the Lab podcast.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's Benjamin St. Jude's, DB for the Washington Commanders. I want to give a big shout out to Redzone In the Lab podcast.
Welcome. We here.
Let's get
Friday preview crew. We're going to be here for the duration of the season. We're going to have special guests from time to time. Some fans out there is going to come and join us. And today, joining us is Spaces host Glenn. Mr. Glenn's going to join us a little later. But I have Big Simple in the building. Big Simple, what's good? How you feeling today?
What's up? What's up, dudes? Thank you for letting me on, man. And I appreciate being on. And I can't wait, man. I can't wait. It want a couple more days. 2-0 start. You know what I'm saying? 2-0 start. So I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. Let's get this thing going.
For sure. LJ.
Hello.
Mad Hatter. Before we get into anything, right?
Yeah.
Where did it come from? Like Mad Hatter, where did it come from?
Yeah, it was quite a brainstorm, honestly. So I've always, since I was young, I love ties, I love bow ties, I love suits. I don't ever get an opportunity to wear that kind of stuff. And so I started, this went all over the place. So I'm a big fan of Pitbull, right? The rapper. And I love that he always dresses up. And I've watched interviews and talks about, the suits and ties and why he does that. So I started thinking of that. There's a character in Old English history that I'm a fan of. Anne Lister, she's a real person back in the 1800s who was a female landowner. Showtime did a show kind of about her history. She dressed similar to that, had those big caveat ties, top hats. So I was all over the place, and I just started putting stuff together, and then I needed a name, and I played around with a few things, and I just came up with that. So yeah, I pulled from a lot of places. Yeah, it's very random. I know.
It was cool the way it's organic, right? Like it's best when things are organic like that and not forced. But game one, let's go back just a little bit. Let's go back just a little bit, right? Game one, it's electric, like from the tailgate all the way up to whenever, like the win, after the win, the week, all the way down to now. But you had some special things happening or happened to you on game day, during the game, before the game. What were some of those things, LJ?
Are you talking about the Monday night Ravens game, or are you talking about the home opener?
The home opener.
The home opener. Am I missing?
No. The Ravens game.
Oh,
the Ravens
the Ravens
game.
game.
The Ravens game. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, the Ravens game.
So just 4 or 5 days before the Ravens game, my ticket rep, shout out Jenna, she's amazing, gets a hold of me, texts me, says, LJ, check your email right now. I, to this moment, don't know who put my name in the hat, how they picked me. I don't know any of that. All I know is they said, can you come for Monday night? We have a marketing thing with Verizon. You got to sign a release to do videos and such. We're going to fly you out to DC, put you up at the MGM. And I said, all right. So I said, give me 45 minutes. My boss is in a meeting. Yeah. So, yeah. So they said they wanted us to take selfies of the trip, getting on the plane, packing, all that stuff. And if you saw the commercial, the video, they had a camera crew follow us around. There was 4 people from upstate New York, and don't kill me, guys, from New York. I'm not as familiar, but they're northern, western part of New York somewhere.
Somewhere up there, right?
Somewhere up there, yeah, not New York City. A couple from Toronto. And then I was going to go. My wife was in Denver, so she couldn't come with me. So it was just me. So 7 of us. And it was pretty awesome. It was pretty cool. And obviously, you guys know Hog Farmer Chris, good buddy of mine. He had an extra spot down front. So after the first quarter, when I was kind of released from the activities with this group, I went down and sat with Chris for the rest of the game. And so they used some of that video that I took at the end of the game. And then I think right now it's on LinkedIn and Facebook as an advertisement with Verizon. And I'm not sure what else is going to happen, but it was really amazing. They gave us field passes, so we got to go on the field before the game. Met Doug Williams. Yeah, it was pretty wild. I saw Deshaun Jackson on the field, but he's busy.
Yeah, I saw that.
He wasn't going to come.
That was crazy though. That was a heck of an experience for sure.
Yeah.
Just you being able to share that with us as you was going. Chase Radar is in the building. Was like Mad Hatter, you have a great Instagram, right? But Chase Radar, like follow him on Insta. Of course, Big Simple on Insta, but Chase Radar on Insta is insane. Like he's a great follow for sure. I guess it's Insta, right? It's Insta or Instagram? What the kids call it? Instagram. Oh, they don't say Insta no more? Okay, cool. Or IG. All right, cool. IG. All right, cool.
IG, yeah.
All right, so look, let's get right into it, Big Simple. The Predator. The Predator is back. But let's just take a few clips and let's go listen to Ron as he brings back the Predator.
Let's go.
And there's a lot of confidence. Yes, very positive. A lot of good things throughout the week, and there's a lot of confidence. Obviously we got to be smart because this is his first introduction to, full contact, full speed contact, other than what he had in practice this week. And he had a very good week. I mean, the young man has worked his tail off, and I think he's done the things that they've needed to see. So that's the real big positive for us going forward.
So going back to how he looked early in camp, knowing that he's had about a month off, what can you expect from him Sunday?
Well, I mean, we most really have to be aware and have a pitch count, obviously. But the biggest thing more than anything else is the young man has just been terrific from day one in training camp, worked his tail off, had the unfortunate where, we had to put him down for a little bit, and then now he's back up. He's been working hard. He's done everything he needs to. He's been chomping at the bit. So we're excited for his opportunity.
Sorry, did I just miss the snap count or anything?
We'll see how it goes. Again, we have to be smart and be diligent on that.
He hasn't had contact for a month prior to today. So
he's had contact this week.
Right. I'm sorry. I meant to this week. So, but in terms of, is that just like normal? Like if your guy was out for several on IR and you came off, you're like, okay, you're good to go.
It'd be the same type of situation. And again, we have to be smart.
And with Curtis, I don't think we've asked you this week what is limited, obviously, but what does that mean and just in general and then for Sunday?
We'll see how he is. I mean, he's had some general soreness and some tightness, and again, we just want to make sure he's where he needs to be, and he's ready to roll.
He wants to play every game, but it's all good. My time will come. So it's time. So now it's time to go play. So definitely, just blessed to be out there and doing everything I need to do to prepare.
As best you know, what based on what the doctor said, it was just a matter of how did you respond to contact this week in practice to determine whether you would be able to go for the game?
Yeah, really just time too. It was just time, honestly too. But yeah, feeling good. So time to play.
We obviously saw a lot of you before this injury. Do you feel it seemed like you were in a pretty good space then? Do you feel like you're still at that level?
Yeah, definitely. I haven't stopped working. Every day, still was trying to perfect my craft, And yeah, man, just keep my head down.
All right, Big Simple, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear Ron Rivera speak about Chase Young, right? This young man, this young man, that. He's been chopping at the bit. He's been doing this and been doing that. We kept him out. Like, he made that clear. We kept him out. And he wanted to get back. And then you hear Chase saying, look, I'm just ready to get back. He's been saying that all off season. Just wait. I'm ready to get back. Just wait. Give me your synopsis of those two guys talking about Chase Young and how you feel about him being back.
See, the first thing first, when Ron Rivera went out there and just said what he said, you feel me? I I understand what he talking about, trying to hold him back from, not getting, I guess, trying to just stay protective of his players because he's been that way for years, and I feel like, with a lot of stuff that's been going on with Juan Rivera, but he gotta let Chase Young be Chase Young. You gotta let him go out there. Just let him go out there because Chase Young do look like he wants to play, and that's the thing about Chase Young. I want him to play, but if he feel like he's not up to it, we all thinking, okay, he might be hurt. The doctors out there saying, okay, one thing to another. But other than that, man, Chase should be okay, man. I think he should come out in this next game, and do a few things, and just have fun. I think he should be all right.
So, like, LJ, about 2 months ago, you held a space. I think it was your first space.
Mhm.
And you say, hey, let's just talk about Chase Young for a little bit. We talked about him for 3 hours and we still wasn't finished. Right. And here we are now, all through the summer, still talking about Chase Young.
Yeah.
But now Chase Young, and like, I think a lot of the fan base forgets, like, he played 3 games last year. Like, a lot of fan base just absolutely forgot that he played 3 games last year. But
Yeah.
Chase Young is back, LJ. What's next?
I mean, I'm excited. I Our fan base has high expectations, and we're always let down, right? And so it's like we're like in a DV cycle, right? We're like in a victim cycle. So I get why there's skepticism. I get it, right? But I'm a half glass full kind of person, and I think Chase, he's in a contract year. We didn't pick up his 5th-year option. If Does he need any more motivation, right, to go out there and just, he's got all the potential in the world. Are we going to see it? Now, I watched the game with the Broncos and the Raiders. Okay. And obviously Max Crosby, I mean, it speaks for itself. You don't have to give too much description. We all know. But you can't tell me that our defense, especially our line and our edge guys, are the same as the Raiders. I mean, for what the Raiders did, we got to blow them out of the water. You get Young back, and it's not just about Chase Young, right? Everybody goes, oh, Chase Young, Chase Young. You got Montez. You got Jonathan Allen. You got Deron Payne. You got our backups that come in there. We're going to be a force to reckon with, I think, on Sunday. And I think Chase just adds that piece, just like when we got Jahan on the other side of Terry. Now you got Chase on the other side of Montez. I'm excited. I got goosebumps. Like, I really am excited. So,
yeah. So Simple, he talked about and he talked about the snap counts. And we know last year, his first game back, they say he's going to be on like a 16 count. I think he just crushed that, and he ended up getting almost 20 something. And Ron kind of left it open, like he didn't give a number this time, right? He just kind of left it open. We'll see. We got to be smart. We'll see. We got to be smart. And to me, it's like Chase never like slowed down from the offseason coming into now, even with the injury. So I'd be real surprised if Chase is on some sort. Like, I think, when the game first starts out, I think they're going to let him play a little bit. Maybe towards the second, going into halftime, they might pull him. Then he got that rest along with halftime and then come back out. But man, like, if this game is close in the fourth quarter and Chase is healthy, I just can't see him sitting out. What about you, Sam?
I feel like he should play most of the reps. You feel me? Because that he gotta get the game speed in. You know, I know they're gonna put him in. They'll probably put him in and out with Williams, James Smith Williams, and
Hmm.
a couple of the other guys. But I think they should just give him that time to get ready. You know, get put him out there. And like I said, I was like 50-50 on him. I just didn't know what was going to happen. But after what I seen last year in those last 4 games, though, in those last 4 games, Chase Young impressed me when it came down to just bullying, you know, what's his name? Trent Williams in
Yeah,
that
that was crazy.
49ers game. I was
Yeah.
like, man, that's just coming off a ACL. So I just wonder if he get time and actually get on the field and do what he have to do. You know, so yeah, give that man some time. I believe in him.
Where you at with it, LJ?
Yeah, I thought about that too when I read earlier about the snap count, pitch count. We rotate a lot, so I don't really think that. I mean, he might get a few less. I mean, obviously Allen's been playing. 82% or something. I get it, but we rotate, so I don't think that's going to be a huge difference if that makes sense. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. Cody is in the building. What's going on, Cody? WLG was good. Super Chef just in it. I appreciate you for stopping by. And we got Glenn. Glenn is back in the studio. So Glenn is ready to come in. Man, Glenn was kind of talking about Chase Young these last few weeks, but that's for spaces, right? That's for spaces. And I'm
Yeah,
telling y'all, if you want to really get down to the nitty-gritty, you need to get in these spaces. Follow all of us up here. When Glenn come up, follow him. It's going to be down in the description of the show, how you can join spaces, how you can get on spaces. That's all we do. We talk ball. We talk ball.
that's
So
it.
right after this, we're going to have Glenn up and we're going to get into, well, Glenn probably won't want to say something about Chase Young. Then after that, we're going to get into Denver.
What's going on? This is Steve from Command This Podcast. You can watch our show on YouTube or you can catch it anywhere you get any of your audio podcast platforms. Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeart, it doesn't matter. We're on there. Peace and hail.
And is in the building. What it do, my guy? How you feeling
What
today?
it do? What it do? I'm feeling great. I figured, since we're talking about the return of Predators, it would only be appropriate that I dress in the Predator garb. You know what it is. What's good? What's good? What's good,
I love it.
everybody?
I love it. I love it. We want to let's talk about Chase Young a little bit, right? But Southwide, I appreciate you for joining a Safe Watt. I think I pronounced that right. If I didn't, like break it down for me, like do some syllables or something from this pronouncing it. But yeah, man, this was the issue before Chase Young left, right? They all acknowledged that the whole D line acknowledged that they all was kind of freelancing, and they needed to get better. Oh, it's South. Come on, South. What is this? You got your burner? South got burner. Oh my
He just exposed his burner. I love it.
right. Could have DM'd me that, man. But look, so but they kind of got it together. Chase went down. I don't think they got it together because Chase went down. I think they're going to get it together anyhow. I think they always going to come to an understanding about that. And when Warren Sapp was there last year during the summer, for about 3-4 weeks, that was he kept teaching them, you can't do this by yourself. You can't do this by yourself. You can't do this by yourself. And then they came out and they started working together. Even when Chase came back those last 3 games, he still seems like he was working within the system. But at the same time, Glenn, we're looking at Chase as a number 2 overall pick. We're looking at him like Michael Parsons. So sometimes you have to let him loose and let him go be who we need him to be.
I agree. I've been somewhat the villain the last couple of weeks, I guess you could say, because I think I'm as frustrated as Chase is. Only thing is, I can't get out on that field and release my frustration, so I gotta release them in just how I conduct myself when I'm speaking with other fan bases, right, with other fan members. And at one point in time, Deuce, I admit I've been guilty of saying Chase is soft. Not in the sense of like he's punk, you know what I mean? But like almost like a diva to where like he got a little bump or something that he gonna play through it. Now I can't really say that that's the case. You know, he got cleared last year and it took him forever to get back on the field. We thought we was gonna get like 6, 7, maybe 8 games out of him. We got 3. So it was kind of disappointing, and I think we're just as frustrated as him. Now, when you look at what he's been talking about this whole past off season, when you do get him in front of the camera, like you've been saying, he's not saying anything. He's just keeping it all under his hat. He's like, we gonna see. We gonna see. And basically, he's talking to me and people like me, right? And other fan members who are skeptical, right? Like, I know what he has. I know what he can do. We saw him his rookie year. We saw when you add him to that defensive line, the whole defensive line becomes unlocked. Go ahead and double team Chase if you want to. Jonathan Allen's over there like, thank you. Montez Sweat's on the other side like, thank you. Oh, you want to come over here and double Montez? Chase is over there just grinning because he about to feast. And and I think that's what we as fans have been more frustrated than anything else. Because we see Micah Parsons over there wrecking shop. We see these other defensive ends and other linebackers wrecking shop. And we're like, we got all first round draft picks draped across our defensive line. How come we not producing that? And I think once we get Chase in there, which is the final piece of that puzzle, we're going to get to see what we've been salivating for the past 2 seasons. There's nothing personal to Chase, bro. I know you're not soft. I tell you that in your face. I'll probably be like 15 yards away from you when I do it. However, it's almost like a motivational way of saying you soft. Like, come on, man, strap up and let's go. Get out there. I don't want to hear no more excuses. You had a whole year and a half, bro. Like, we ready to see you get out there and get it done. So, and I think we're gonna see that, y'all. I think this Sunday, like all the talk, Chase is in the streets. He hear what we be saying.
Yeah, most
definitely.
definitely.
All that's culminated. He's gonna be like, y'all gonna see. I ain't even gotta talk about it because when he did talk about it, he had a bad.
Yeah, people was getting at him. Yeah. All right, man. Let's end it. Chase. Simple. We got any last words for Chase Young?
He's back. The Predator is back.
All right, LJ. You never know. Chase might be one of these views right here. What you want to say to him?
Well, I already wrote down that he's going to get at least 1 sack. That's at least. And I want to say I wouldn't be surprised if he got a fumble or cause a fumble, a couple tackles for losses. I want to see some QB hits, and I think he can do it. I'm ready to see the beast unleashed.
Yeah, me too. Like we shouldn't look worse than what we looked last week. Like we got a lot of improvements from last week. So if he looks a little rusty, maybe like if some stunts and he's moving a little slower or he just seems like he needs to get in a better rhythm. Yeah, I get that part, but I mean he's athletic. Like he should be ready to go. He told Payne that they play better when they doing. Yeah, he did say that. Like he did say that and that mic'd up. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be careful. Like, but I think it was more so, and he also was saying about when they do stunts and stuff like that, whatever the terminology they was using, they understood that, when it's your time to eat, it's your time. When it's my time, taking on double teams and stuff like that. So I think they have an understanding. And Caleb is in the building. One of the hosts from that team from DC, which is about to get back started in a week or so, going live on Wednesdays, every Wednesday. So be on the lookout for that. I can't wait for that. Those are the younger voices in the fan base. So yeah, it gets. That's why I'm glad I just produced that show and I just sit back and I just listen. So can't wait for them to come back. All right, injuries. This is what we have for injuries. Of course, we have Chase Young, who is playing. He's going to be on a snap count. We don't know what that number is. Curtis Samuel has popped up with the hip. And Ron just said it's general soreness. So it's basically probably just on depending on how he feel tomorrow and Sunday. I think he's a go. And out is Quan Martin. I'm not surprised, being as though we have to fly, and especially going to Denver, being in concussion protocol. I didn't think that he would play anyhow. And I think that's kind of it. major injuries that they kind of talked about. So let's start with LJ. Any one of those injuries concern you?
No, I mean, Quan, he's going to get his chance. So I'm not too concerned with that. I feel like we have one of the deepest receiving cores. So if Curtis can't be in there, I'm confident. We have a lot of offensive weapons. One of the things I actually was looking at, and you may get to this, so tell me if I'm jumping ahead, but I was looking at Denver's injury report and who's out for them and how that would impact. I think that their safety Kearns being out is actually, and then Frank Clark is out.
Yep,
so
he's out.
Wow.
We are way. For me, I think we have a better percentage chance of winning if you look at it just injuries, right? I think Denver is hurting a lot worse than we are, from the injury front. They got bigger players that are going to be out there. Tight end, Frank Clark, their safety. Yeah.
Yeah, and Jerry Jeudy is just coming back off an injury.
Right.
He's going to play. Frank Clark, I think he got his injury in practice.
Mhm.
They traded away one of their tight ends because they believe that this one is going to be the franchise tight end. Now he's hurt. And they wide receivers is hurt. Cortland Sutton is out and a couple of those guys. So, I think their injuries is a little more concerning for them. But where you at, Big Simple? You think any of our injuries or theirs are more important? Well, not important, but more concerning.
Not too much because I feel like the weapons, like it like you said, is like the weapons is the first time I've seen in years. Like our weapons are deep. At first we didn't have a second wide receiver for Terry or none of those other guys. So the first time we can go like, 2, 3, 4, or maybe 5 deep in the wide receiver position, we should be straight. So Quan Martin, he should be okay. He got a lot of learning to do, but he should be okay if he's not playing. But Denver missing those type of players, I don't know. They might be in trouble. I ain't gonna lie, they might be in trouble.
Deuce, I don't know if you saw this, that Frank Clark is being replaced with their 2021 seventh rounder. I don't know, Jonathan Cooper from Ohio State, but that's who's playing in place of Frank Clark.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know who that is.
Let me hit my Ohio State connects. What's his name, LJ?
Jonathan Cooper. He was drafted 7th round in 21. Yeah, I pulled up Denver's depth chart earlier because I wanted to see, who they were plugging in. They got a pretty decent backup on their safety, so I don't think that's going to be huge. But I feel like their linebacker play. Now, obviously, they got Randy Gregory. He's 30. I did not realize he is 30 years old already.
Yeah, because he on and off, right?
What's
he
that?
on the field. He on the field. He locked up. He in practice. He locked up again. Back on the field.
Dude, they didn't have any sacks last week.
Mm-mm. Nope,
No
they gonna get no
sacks.
pressure. Gonna get no pressure.
No.
Yeah. And now they out their best pass rusher. So
Yeah.
So Glenn, Curtis Samuel, you think that's an issue? You think that's something? I mean, he's been fairly healthy.
Yeah, and we fantasy football nuts, and he went from questionable to healthy on my ticker, so I think he'll be ready to play. I'm not worried about that. I do believe though it's the next man up attitude. Peyton's over there. He's not gonna have them boys slipping. I just don't think talent wise they can stand up to us. I don't think we should lose this game, especially after the production I saw out of the Broncos last week. And we had a few mishaps in our game. It should have been a much bigger margin of a win than what it was. So I don't see Denver as being much of a problem for us, believe it or not. I can't believe they got a 6.5 point spread. That's kind of wild, unless it went down. So.
Yeah, I think it's 3.5.
3.5 now.
I mean, that's home field mostly. I think 3 is home field, I think. So I don't know. All right, let's get it. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I know he went to Ohio State, but is he good? LJ told me he went to Ohio State. I know you watching. All right, let's start with simple key matchups. Give me one key matchup that you're looking forward to this week. It could be player on player, or it could be one player against a defense, however you want to look at it.
Okay. I'm gonna say whoever Emmanuel Forbes is covering. I don't know who the wide receiver
They
for the
got
Broncos.
they got Jerry Judy who's coming back.
Jory Judy.
So I don't think he's going to like follow.
They ain't gonna follow.
I don't think we're there yet.
Okay.
With him. So, but yeah, Jerry Judy is going to be out there. Let me put on my RL lads. Who you got? You got some
Oh
LJ?
man, it's the other dude I'm looking at too. I think he caught a touchdown last week too. I
Yeah,
can't remember his name.
I think
Is it Sutton?
M-
I think it's Sutton.
Marvin Mims.
Cortland something.
Yes,
Yeah.
Cortland
Yeah.
Sutton. Yeah. Then they got the rookie Marvin Sims or Lim, something like that. They got the rookie that they drafted.
Okay.
So they have receivers that can like get downfield. Like they don't
Right.
they're not slouches. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's not like we're gonna be able to, slack off. We're gonna have to cover them though for sure. Yep.
So that I'm gonna go to like the corners. You feel me? Overall, I'm gonna say Sutton and for Sutton and Forbes, that matchup. I want to see how they're gonna like put that all together with him going in and out. As out of the lineup. I knew they would probably do that with Benjamin St. Jude's Fuller and them. Put them different sides. Put them in different packages in the defense. So I want to see how that's set up. So I want to see how it go. I really want to see that.
So it's funny. So like the reason, okay, anytime they go 12 personnel, they take Forbes out and they bring in Percy Butler.
Yeah.
So anytime they go 12 personnel, they take Forbes out and they bring in Percy Butler. That's something that we're gonna have to continue to watch. But it's funny though, because we got two Ohio State guys, right? We got Chase, we got DT, right? So DT said he's just a guy, athletic, quick twitch. Chase says that solid pass rusher. Nothing really special though. He's pass rushers that can give problems. The guy is Baron Browning, but he don't know if he's playing. And DT said the same thing. The one to worry about is Baron Brown. So you see, these Buckeye guys think exactly the same, right? They like on two different platforms, pretty much saying the same thing about it. So that's something to definitely watch. Those guys. So Glenn, who is a key matchup for you?
Well, I was gonna say our corners, but I think the obvious would be our defensive line, right? With Chase coming back. So I don't want to take that. That's kind of obvious. So I think I want to see how Cody Barton and Jamin Davis do this week. In some of the tape I seen Mark Tyler, if y'all are familiar with Mark, showed Cody getting pushed around a lot last week. So I want to see how he rebounds off of that. He can stand his ground in Jamin. And I need to see them make a couple of standout plays. Plays that make a difference in the game. I don't want them just out there making tackles because they chase a people down. I want them disruptive. I want their presence to be felt out there.
Yeah, I agree. LJ, key matchup.
Yeah. So with is that Baron Browning, they were according to today's depth chart of the Denver Broncos, he's out.
Oh wow!
So they've got him listed third string with an O.
Yeah, out.
So there's that.
For me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't wish injuries.
No.
But it is what it is.
He's out. He's out. Yeah.
Right. So as far as the matchups and stuff, as I was doing my research today, I want to see how we can contain Russell, but bigger than that, I want to see how are we going to deal with him dumping it off to P. Ryan. He only averages 5.5 yards a pass. That's a short game. So how are we going to, it's kind of a twofold. How do you contain Russ? Because if they're not disciplined and they get rushed inside and he loops outside and he can dump it off and let the playmakers play. I was looking, they had long drives, and thankfully they missed a field goal. They were held to another field goal. They had an interception, but we've got to watch those short little plays, and that means we've got to tackle. So I'm looking at our linebackers. I'm looking at our edge guys. That's kind of the matchup that I'm looking at.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I'm also with Cash about Russell. Look, Russell Wilson is not the guy that we remember him. And I think as Commander fans, we kind of remember the Russ who just used to like run all over us and make stuff happen. Like he's not that guy anymore, but he still can do it, right? So for me, it's like our edges contain it, which I think they do a great job. I think Sweat, JSW, Two Hill, Chase, I think those guys do a great job of containing. But our linebackers like Jamin Davis and Barton, you gotta play downhill. You gotta have good angles on Russell Wilson because if you don't, he will get past you. He's that old guy that play flag football. You can't never grab his flag because his hips is so good. Like that's who he is. So you gotta be able to tackle him. You gotta take good angles.
He's going to extend the plays. And I think it's not so much like back in the day when he could take off on a run, but it's him getting outside that pocket and extending those plays. And so that's where, we're going to rely on our cover, rely on our D-line to keep him contained.
Yeah, and like you mentioned.
Russell, go ahead.
No, you good. Go ahead.
One thing about Russell, too, LJ, is he likes to keep that uniform clean. We need to try to get as much pressure to him as possible. When he's pressured, he looks a little rabbit.
I want him to be real sore on Monday.
Yeah, right.
I want him to be like, Sierra, I need a massage. Yeah.
Right. And that's something because like when we think about Russell Wilson and what he can do, like when the play break down outside the pocket, like we have to make sure we're covering and we're not leaving our receivers too early. Like we don't want to leave them too early. Right. I think P. Ryan was the leading receiver with like 47 or like 57 yards last week. So I think he had a total of like 80 some yards, but I think he was the leading receiver last week. And I'm with Chase too, Jahan and whoever the other guy is, because last week, oh man, what's his name? Against the Raiders, because Devontae Adams didn't go off, but the other guy did, and I cannot think of his name right now. Which the second corner was covering. So if Surtain is out there with Terry following around, all right, cool. Then Jahan should be able to eat, and he should be able to eat real good. So I can't wait to see how they approach that. Because if I was them, I would just leave Surtain on the side and just whoever lines up there, cover him. Because I think we do have two number one wide receivers. Yeah, there you go. Jacoby Myers. That's it. He had 100. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Yep, Jacoby Myers. He had 100 and some receiving yards. So, yeah.
So, you said they didn't get any sacks last week?
0.
No.
Wow, and their best edge rushers, that's what Sam.
That might be a good.
To hold the ball, that might be a good thing for him this week.
Yeah. And that was one of the things I'm looking to see him improve. He might do it a little, but not as much when he improve. All right. Spotlight players. Let's do defense. Let's start with Glenn. Who's your spotlight player for Sunday?
My spotlight player for Sunday will be Emmanuel Forbes. I think this Sunday he gets his pick six. That's what everybody's been waiting for. I think this is the day he lets the world know he's here.
All right. Who's yours, Simple?
My spotlight player should be mostly. I'm gonna go with Jermaine Davis.
Oh, okay.
I know a lot of people down on him, but I think he's gonna do a few things in this game. I think he's gonna do a few things.
This is the game to do it. Like against Russell Wilson, somebody that extend plays. You're gonna have to spy. You're gonna have to use your speed and angles. I think this would be a good game to do it. All right, LJ, who you going with?
I'm going with Chase Young.
Yeah, there you go.
I think he's going to come out and he's going to remind people why he was a second overall pick, why he is who he is, and that's my answer. Yeah,
I'm going to go with Montez Sweat. I think he's going to have 2 sacks. I think it's going to be a lot of attention on Chase. I think Chase is going to get pressure. I think Chase is going to get home. I think these D tackles is going, and just having Chase back on the field, automatic. Like Mandaron was going back and forth last week about who should open the game up. I was saying the offense because this is the first time. It's EB. Let's come out, smack them in their mouth, let them know that we here. Take up. But this week, when you got Chase Young out there, like let's start with the defense. I think these boys is going to be hype. I think Sweat is going to get 2. I think he's going to be one of the leaders. I think Chase is going to get home. I think we'll get home a few times. I think we're gonna get because we have speed. Like our D line is good, our depth is good. We have starters like 5 and 6, 5, 6, 7 can be starters anywhere else in the NFL, and they all have good speed that can track Russell down. So I'm really thinking we gonna eat. All right, spotlight player for offense. Let's go retract back. Let's go with LJ.
I'm going Brian Robinson. I think we are going to have a run game, and I think he's going to show. Yeah.
This is for Chase Young.
Oh, Chase Young.
I don't know, like him, like Cash and Chase Young just had this relationship that is real tricky. Like is, I try not to get into it as much, but they got this real strange relationship going on with them too. But yeah, we all hope. Go ahead, LJ.
Yeah. No, I think B-Rob's, I think our run game, I think we're going to be dominant in the run game on Sunday. And so I think he's got a chance. Yeah. Let me say something too real quick. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw a little bit extra from Rodriguez. Like, I like him a lot. So even if he just gets a few touches, he's got a chance to maybe break something out too. But yeah. So I'm really looking for that run game.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. All right, Glenn, who's your spotlight for offense?
Well, it was going to be B-Rob. I can't use B-Rob anymore. I really would like to see that rookie. The second year tight end get off.
Cole Turner.
Cole Turner, yeah.
I need to see Cole do some things this week. Logan kind of let me down a little bit. I'd like to see Cole get a little more burn this week.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think, like I was saying in the offseason, that I think Cole is going to be your leading snap count. He might not start come week 8, but I think he's going to gradually begin to get more snaps because that's good roster management. Logan is getting old. He's getting hurt often, so it's time to start getting these young guys in and kind of rotating. All right, big simple 4-2-2. Who's your offense?
Hey, Glenn took the words right out of my mouth with Cole Turner. Though. I ain't gonna lie, that's a good one right there. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna definitely go. Let me see. I'm gonna go with Terry McLaurin.
Okay.
He gonna get off against Sutton. And not Sutton, but my man guy, what's his corner name?
Surtain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think he gonna get off against him.
He always do. Like, I don't care how good you are. Like Terry's just a dog. Like,
you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna go with him.
I mean, he don't have the other guy though that just was like, you know what, forget it. He down there somewhere. So we might not see a lot of those type contested catches as much as we saw like these last few years. But even still, like even like if you go back and you watch a lot of those, especially against Trayvon Diggs, man, I hate talking about Trayvon Diggs to Cowboy fans because if you go watch the tape, like Terry beats him every single time. I mean, yeah, he beats him every
time, man.
Every single time. I can't wait to play Dallas. He beats him every single time. But I'm going to go with Jahan. I think Jahan is going to have a big game. he had a few catches last week. I think him and Terry is gonna have a good game. But I think Jahan is gonna have a good game because I do think Surtain is gonna want to follow Terry, right? Because Terry is in that circle. Like he's one of those elite guys to the actual football players, not to the fan base and the media. But when you hear these cornerbacks talk about Terry McLaurin, they talk about him as if he is one of the best in the league. And Surtain is not going to let nobody check him. I think he's going to check Terry the whole game, which I think will open up a lot of opportunities for Sam Howell. Right. All right, special teams. Who you got special teams, LJ?
I mean, what do you mean? Like, as who's going to win the special? We are. We've got All Pro Revo.
That's all.
I mean, that's all you got. We Tressway's All Pro in my book. So we got the best punter in the NFL. We have the best special teamer in the NFL. The other guys on special teams are dogs. I mean, I think we win that. And as far as Sly goes, being in Denver, obviously you can kind of push it back a little bit. That dude's got a leg as heck. So
yeah, he does.
Let me know when you got a score prediction because I got mine.
Yeah, I got it. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. What's up, Justin De Los Santos? I appreciate you for joining for sure. I think it's your first time, so glad to have you. Chase A spotlight player on offense is Curtis. Yeah, I can see Curtis going off some short stuff. Especially if they try to, they got Surtain on Curry and they try to double up on Jahan. I think the Belichick way was to take your top corner, put him on a second receiver, and then double the first receiver. I think that was the kind of the Bill Belichick way, but we don't have too many Bill Belichick. Spotlight for him is Jahan for cash 2. Breakout game against second corners. I believe that. Man, Revo gets the crowd pumped. I mean, he's down there first every single time.
That's ridiculous.
Every single time. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. But like when you look at this special teams, Glenn, like these guys don't get enough credit.
They don't. You know who be flying down there too, bro? David Mayo. David Mayo be down there busting people up. And I know people be in and out. David Mayo be balling on special teams. Yeah. I don't want to see him in coverage, on like 3rd down and 4,
right?
Like that. But like you put him down there as a gunner boy, and David Mayo doing his thing. But for me on special teams, though, Cheeseman, bro. Cheeseman. I need these snaps to get a little bit better. I don't need you throwing snaps into the dirt and Tress having to save the day. Like those give me heart attacks. So I hope he's worked on that. Cheeseman's worked on that, and I think special teams. Everybody else, like LJ said, they dogs. So I'm kind of ready. Just I wish tomorrow was Sunday.
For sure. Simple, man. We traded a 5th round pick to move up to get Cameron Cheeseman.
Yeah. That's brutal, man. for a long snapper, because I feel like you can find that like in the street or something. I don't know, but I think you can find that on the street. But I can take it. But I'm gonna say is Khalid Hudson actually?
Yep, he plays specials.
He plays special teams.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna take Khalid Hudson on special teams. I think he gonna fly up there, get a couple of tackles, do what he had to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Justin, yeah, it makes sense. Like this is the record, right? Chance at history, first player to ever have a rushing and passing touchdown in his first 3 games. He had one against Dallas, had one against Arizona. So yes, he can break history. I wouldn't be surprised if he do get down there close to the goal line. He's shown that he has a knack for getting to the end zone for sure. We got 2 more. We're going to come back. We're going to do not 2 more. We're going to come back and do our score predictions for Sunday. Seems like LJ was very excited, so she's going to go last because she was so excited. But right after this, we're going to get to our score predictions.
Saturday brunch with the ladies of HTTC, sponsored by Redzone In the Lab. Join us Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern as we discuss everything NFL and, of course, brunch. See you soon. Hail to the Commanders.
Going to be just simple with it. 31-17. I think Sam Howell throws three touchdowns. So I'm looking forward to see that. So I got us winning 31-17. Simple, where are you?
I think 28-10, because I feel like Sam Howell gonna do almost the exact same thing. Do what he have to do, get like three touchdowns, maybe slip in a pick somewhere. But I think he'll do like 250 yards somewhere around that ballpark. Yeah, he should be straight.
All right. What you got, Glenn?
We are playing in Denver, so I think it's going to be a little bit closer than that. But I do think that we're going to put up 28 points. I think the score is going to be 28-21.
28-21. All right, LJ, what you got?
All right. I looked at a lot of score predictions, and I think we're going to do a little bit of a bend don't break with defense. So I'm looking at getting, that Denver gets a couple field goals, a couple touchdowns. But I think that because of our touchdowns, they're going to have to go for a 2-point conversion. They're not going to make it. We're going to win 24-19.
I mean, man, that was good. Like, you with a 2-point conversion, didn't make it, a score. Okay, LJ, you did. Like, I am very excited. I am pumped for Denver. I will be leaving out tomorrow morning, so we'll be out there representing.
Are you going?
Yes.
I'm so mad I didn't go. Oh. Anyway, kicking myself.
Yep. And you're close too, right? How far are you? Well, you're in what? Chicago, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's a 9-10 hour drive. It's a drive, but I mean, I could have done the plane ticket if I planned it over the summer. I just waited too long,
Yeah, it was overwhelming because you got. Yeah, I'm going here. I'm going to this game.
I got a lot of planning coming back to home games. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like for fans that don't live in this area, like they have to plan to come here. A few times, and like no one wants to keep visiting the same place over and over, you know what I mean? So that's one thing. And then wherever if it's a game close to them, they try to go to. So me, DH, my brother Chuck, which is out that way close to Denver, he's going to meet up with us. And Cody and his family is going to also meet up with us. So he's going to be out there. So and of course, everybody else, Chris, Hog Farmers, and everybody else going. So I think the rally is Saturday. So we're definitely going to be there. So I'm excited about that. Yep. But any last words, Glenn?
Pictures and video, or it didn't happen. Chase Young unleashed. And Sam Howell break the record. Let me get Sam with a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown.
Let's go. Simple. What you got?
That's all I can say. Washington Nation.
It is. LJ, what you got?
All right, get your popcorn ready. I think that after last week, even though we won, people are still doubting. I think we're gonna open some eyes again on Sunday. Yeah.
Yes, sir. We're gonna go out there. We're gonna put the hammer on them peoples. I can't wait to get out there. This has been wonderful. Got Chase Young in the building. Simple, LJ. Remember, we here every Friday live at 5:00 with the new guest, LJ and Big Simple. And of course, Glenn will be back time to time during the year. All of you out there that was watching, we appreciate you for watching, spending time with us. We know your time is very valuable to you. For you to use it with us, we greatly, greatly appreciate it. Remember, do it because you love it, not because it loves you. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love.